We need to remain disciplined. Always remember and know that people are emotionally invested. Just like what happened in the court yesterday. You saw emotion pouring out. Everybody that came to that place, just as I said yesterday, and Master Simon said it, that somebody that took his time, took off, spent money to come to Finland, did not just come there to play. It is because of the love they have for Biafra. The love they have for Master Simon Ekpa. And he said, everybody is entitled to a hug. But our people are so emotional. We become so emotional that we begin to create a narrative within our head. When we create that narrative within our head, we begin to fight the battle within ourselves. And we now transmit the battle that we have and bring it outside to come and become a problem to every other person. Everybody that went to Finland, they all have Biafra at heart. We might have our differences, misunderstanding here and there. But there is only one purpose that took them there. Biafra. Because people are emotionally invested. We have an even greater responsibility to remain disciplined. That is where discipline comes in. We must be disciplined. In everything that happened in Finland, I saw some people who were very disciplined. Even though they were angry, they were able to control themselves. Even though they have problem with one person or the other, they were still able to control themselves and they were still talking and smiling. I saw many people who ordinarily, many of you think ordinarily when they meet each other, they will be boxing each other, they will be fighting and heading each other. But you saw them, many of them were doing videos together, they were even videoing each other, and they were talking. Even with all that huge difference. So many have fought online, thrown banter words. But in that place, they were able to control themselves. That is what we need at this time. We have an even greater responsibility to remain disciplined because of the weight of the case. The weight Mazi Simon Ekpa is carrying. The weight Mazi Nandekan is carrying. It is not a joke. Look at Mazi Simon Ekpa with white hair. Look at Mazi Nandekan at 50 plus. Everywhere is white. You think it's a joke, right? You think it's fancy. You think it's a joke. We need to be disciplined. Every one of us, we need to be disciplined. No matter how angry you are, control your emotions. Control your emotions. Don't be too emotional. That is one of the problems we have in this Biafra struggle. So many of us are emotional to a fault. They are so emotional to a fault that even when something is going wrong, they can't be able to dictate it because they are too emotional. Even when there is no problem, they will create a problem through their own emotion. Their own mind will be telling them things that doesn't exist. They will be formulating things inside themselves that doesn't exist anywhere. Their mind will be telling them things that is not obtainable. Because they are too emotional. You can't control your emotion. Their mind will be creating information that doesn't exist, lies that doesn't exist. And they believe those lies that's coming from their mind. And they push it out. Use that information to convince others. And in a time of a place where emotion is heightened, it will only burst out and create problems. Emotion must not replace fact. We must not allow our emotion to replace fact. We must not allow our emotion to replace the reality that you can see. The reality before you, you can see with your eyes. Don't allow your emotion to replace it. Passion must not replace evidence. Do not allow your passion to replace. This is the major problem we have. Some of us are so passionate to a fault. They don't have bad intention. I must tell you, they don't have bad intention, but they have used their passion to replace evidence. Even when you give them an evidence that this thing is done like this, look at it. Even when the evidence is staring at them, they will not even look at it. They won't even look at it. They just zombie. Passion must not replace evidence. And political activism must not become an excuse for hatred. Political activism must not become an excuse for hatred. Many of us that are Biafran activists, we have allowed ourselves to build hatred unnecessarily. Many of us that are Biafran activists, and I know a few of them, many of us that are Biafran activists, we allow hatred to occupy our mind. All in the name of activism. All in the name of, oh, I'm fighting for Biafra. All in the name we must get Biafra. You become a hater of anything that does not agree with you, anything that doesn't align with you, anybody that is not singing the same song you are singing. We must not allow that. We must not allow that. Master Simon Ekpa delivered a message of unity in the court. Even before the court, Master Simon have been calling people. He have been making calls outside, calling for unity. Not just in the court, but in that court, he has the opportunity to say it so that you will hear it from his mouth. Because some of them, when they bring the message of unity, they will say, no, who is sure he's one saying it. That is how bad it has become. A message of unity, and you will say, are you sure it's Master Simon that said it? He's not the one that said it. Now you heard it from him on video, the message from his mouth. And even while he delivered the message, some people will not stay listening. You can imagine. Even what the first day he talked about unity, second day, and the third day, people were still fighting in division. In his presence, so at least you didn't even say, let me control myself. Let's just be patient so that he can go happily. Somebody that's in detention, he doesn't need to see all these things. When you see how the people he left behind are fighting each other and destroying each other, how do you think he's going to feel when he goes back? When they take him back in there, how is he going to feel? He's not going to be happy. Our people could not even control themselves. The first day they met him, he talked about unity. Second day, he talked about unity. And on the third day, yesterday, still the same problems still happened in his presence. It became more chaotic. You see the importance of unity. Unity is extremely important. The unity of Biafran people is extremely important. And remember, when I talked about unity, this is unity of purpose. It does not necessarily mean that we will all be in the same group. It does not necessarily mean that we will speak in one language. It does not necessarily mean that we will speak or have the same opinion. We can have our diverse opinion at the same time, united in the purpose. Because if there is unity of purpose, your purpose for going to Finland was to support Master Simon Ekpa Njoku. Everybody, that is the purpose. To support Biafra. So when you go there, you see everybody that came there, that they came to support our Prime Minister Master Simon Ekpa. That is why you came. Nobody there came there for a different agenda. It was all to support Master Simon. No matter who the person is, they all came to support Master Simon. For that fact, You should take it at that level. You can't be more spiritual than God himself. You cannot be more spiritual than God. God that sees everything. And whatever God says will happen, will happen. It doesn't, no matter how careful you are, you can only postpone it a little bit, but it will still happen. You can't be more holy than Chukwu. My brothers and sisters, if there is one lesson we must take from this period, my fellow Biafrans, if there is one lesson we must take from this period, it is that disagreement among Biafrans must not automatically become hatred among Biafrans. Disagreement is normal. In families, you have disagreement. Even between twins, you have disagreement. Between twins, you have disagreement. Father and mother, husband and wife, you have disagreement. But we must not automatically allow that disagreement to become hatred among us Biafrans. Let us not allow that disagreement to degenerate into hatred and we become hostile to each other. That is where the danger lies. When your disagreement becomes hostile, when you begin to display hostility just because of a simple disagreement. And the funny thing that this person you are disagreeing today, tomorrow you might agree with that person on another level. So why don't you exercise patience now that you disagree with that person? On that part you disagree, continue to purchase your own, but he goes there. At the end of the day, there will be a place where both of you will meet. And the destination is Biafra, where all of us are going. With all the battle that have been happening online, all this one, you see that Simon Ekpa became a meeting point for everybody. That's a very good example. With all the disagreement every group will have, all the disagreement, all the banter causes, Simon Ekpa Njoku in Finland court became a meeting point for everybody. It became a meeting point. Where the problem lies that when you have now allowed the disagreement now to transform into hatred, you now allow it to transform into hatred. That is why you come in the open to display it before the Prime Minister. And you see how unhappy he looked. You see how disappointed he was. For the fact that you see that a rallying point for everybody under Simon was himself. And you saw in that Finland, after all the banter and after all the cry and talking, the meeting point was Simon Ekpa. And you see everyone assembled to meet there. My brothers and sisters, if there is one lesson we must take from this period, it is that disagreement among Biafrans must not automatically become hatred among Biafrans. It must not become hatred. Because if it turns to hatred, oh my. You know, Biafrans, whatever they do it excellently. If a Biafran wants to commit a crime, he commits it to the extent that it will be redeemable. We must not allow our disagreements to automatically become hatred among us. We can disagree. We can debate. We can challenge one another. We can ask difficult questions. But we must not destroy one another. We must not destroy one another. We can debate. We can disagree. We can challenge one another. We can ask difficult questions, but we must not destroy one another. Very important. There is a difference between political disagreement and personal hatred. There is a difference between political disagreement and personal hatred. And people today are not trying to distinguish these two. They drag their personal matters, personal issues into a political movement, into the agitation. They drag personal matters, personal issues, and you bring it into the struggle. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. There is a difference. There's a difference between questioning a strategy and insulting a person. We should draw that line. There is a difference between questioning a strategy and insulting a person. Today, many of us Biafrans are focusing on insults. So many of us, they derive joy in insulting. They come to your platform, they insult and insult and insult, and they leave. Some of them will come, they don't even know the topic you are discussing. They don't even know what you're talking about. They're not even ready to hear you. Just because they have been fed with some information wherever they are, in any camp they belong. And once they bounce into your program, they begin to insult, they begin to abuse, they begin to curse. And you begin to wonder. People you have not even spoken to before. People you don't even know from Adam. People I might not even meet until the world ends. But all of a sudden, you just see somebody begin to analyze you, call you names. Some will come to my comment section and begin to write things, unspeakable things I don't even know where they are getting the information, whatever they are writing from. In my platform, I have always said, if you have a question, request for link, I'll send you a link, you come up. Why don't you be brave enough to come and face me face to face and ask me one or two questions? Ask me that question, that thing that is bothering you. That nonsense they told you that you are writing on the comment section. Why don't you come up with your own knowledge or whatever they have fed you with? Make sure they equip you very well. Because if you're not equipped, you will definitely go down with disgrace. Let the people who is educating you, since you feel they have given you more information, enough information, since you feel that those people who sent you have given you enough information to engage me, when you come here, don't go to comment section. Request for link. I will give you a link. You come up. Come up and educate me. Come up and ask me those questions face to face. But instead, faceless people from the kingdom of darkness, nameless people, they will become a distraction. They will insult you, abuse you for no reason. People you have not known from Adam. People you might not even meet until the world ends. The only thing that made them to know you is because of the issue of Biafra. If not for Biafra, many of us will not know each other. We will never cross paths until the world ends. We will never. Because of the kind of life we live, because of our qualification, because of our level of understanding, because of the kind of association we belong, we will never meet until the world ends. But yet, you will come boldly and begin to insult somebody online. There is a difference between questioning a strategy and insulting a person. You can question the strategy that anyone is using. Question the strategy. It's not right. Question it. Say what you want to, but don't insult. Do not insult anybody. You don't have that. You don't have the right to insult anybody, any person, no matter how young, how old, how timid, how uneducated. You don't have to insult anybody. There is a difference between holding somebody accountable and deliberately trying to destroy their reputation. There is a difference between holding somebody accountable and deliberately trying to destroy their reputation. There's a difference. Just like what the ex-DOS is doing. The SAC DOS. When you see them, they say they are holding Mazen Nanikan accountable. that he should come and do accountability for them. But what they are doing is deliberately trying to destroy his reputation. They are not looking for accountability. The XDOS is not looking for accountability. What they are looking for is to destroy the reputation of Mazi Nandika. They call him different kinds of names. They accuse him of things that doesn't exist. They go to their platform from morning to night. They are speaking against Mazi Nandika. Accuse him of things that never exist. Things that are unbelievable. That even somebody who is not a Biafra know that is a lie. That Mazi Nandika cannot do. There are certain things you will say. People will bear him witness that he can't do such. There are some things you open your mouth and say, Mazi Nandika said or he did. The people will tell you he did not do it. And you come, you deliberately try to destroy his reputation. The same thing they did to Simon Ekpa. Deliberately destroyed his reputation. They were deliberately destroying the reputation of Simon Ekpa. Not that he was not doing it. Even many people were confessing that Simon Ekpa is the right person. He is doing it. Some of them even confess and say, yes, he is doing it right, but he's too fast. Yes, he's doing it right, but he's too harsh. They deliberately destroyed his reputation. And some of us are still doing it today against ourselves individually. Some of us are still doing it. If there is something I have done wrong in the course of my message, you can come up, hold me accountable for anything I say or anything I do. Hold me accountable for anything I say. You can come up and challenge me, but not deliberately destroying my reputation outside. You go outside. I have bumped into some videos where I see them online discussing something about me that doesn't have anything to do with me. Things I have not even thought about. And that is why I stopped listening to many programs. When I see program, there's some things I see. Once I see it, I see the name or picture there. I don't even listen to it. I don't go to anybody's platform. I don't go to anybody's platform to listen or to pay attention. No. Except some that they say to me directly, I just open it and look. But for me to go and be monitoring people when they did broadcast, what they said about me and I don't have that time. I don't have that time. Some of us have a lot of time. And sometimes it is the same people will go and cut it and send to you. Oh, look at what they're saying about you. Oh, look at what they said about you. Oh, look at what this person said about you. Oh, look at the program this person made about you. And if you cannot control yourself, you will on your own camera and the war will begin. There is a difference between holding somebody accountable and deliberately trying to destroy their reputation. And there is a difference between having different political opinion and becoming enemies. There is a difference between having different opinion and becoming enemies. Many of us have declared our brothers and sisters enemies. You declare your brother and sister enemy. In this Finland, I saw people who disagree politically. They are on different groups. They are different groups. But I saw people, they were together, still talking and chatting and smiling. They didn't see each other as enemies. Even though they know they have boundaries. They have disagreement. But in this Finland, you saw people who disagree together, taking pictures, together, speaking on camera. And even some people castigate them because some people will even attack them. Some people, their group will sack them because of that. Some people you saw, their group will punish them because they talk to their brother, because they talk to a different group, because they promoted them before they talk about it. They will be punished for that. Is it supposed to be so? There is a difference between having different political views and becoming enemies. We don't need to become enemies. We can have different views. We can have different views. We need to understand this and understand it very, very well, because any serious movement must be able to accommodate debate. Any serious movement, like we have the Biafran agitation movement, whether IPOB or other groups, we must be able to accommodate debates. A movement that cannot tolerate question becomes weak. A community that cannot tolerate disagreement becomes divided. That is what we have seen in the agitation. We have divided so much that even in the presence of our prime minister in the court, we could not control ourselves. In the public, we were showing the world that we can't, in short, we can't be together. We show them that we are divided. I don't know how some of us feel when we do certain things, or after acting in such a way. When you go back and watch what you did, are you proud of yourself? I don't know whether if people rewatch what they do online and offline. Like me, after doing my program, I rewatch my program. After doing my program, I rewatch it. And I also have people that are watching in case I make any mistake. They will call my attention. If I have gone out of line, I have people that are monitoring everything I say. So that when I use the wrong language, they will call my attention. They tell me, oh, go back and look at this thing you said. I have people like that. I'm not paying them. On their own, they are doing it. Whenever they see me do something that doesn't go in line, they will call me and call my attention. Then I have to go back and watch that program and see if they were right or wrong. If what they pointed out is not right, and I just tell them, I will give them reason why I said what I said. A community that cannot tolerate disagreement becomes divided. We disagree to agree. Everybody is entitled to their opinion. Allow people to express themselves. Allow people to be who they want to be. You are not God. Even God himself gave man the free will to make decisions. God gave man the free will. How dare you, a human? How dare you try to take away that free will? How dare you? And people who spend all their energy fighting themselves may lose sight of the bigger issue that they claim to care about. That is the danger. A people who spend all their energy fighting themselves may lose sight of a bigger issue they claim to care about. Every one of us, we are claiming we care about Biafra, we care about Mazi Simon Ekpa, we care about Mazi Nandekano, we care about their freedom. But we spend all our effort and energy fighting ourselves. The energy we are supposed to be channeling against the real enemy that we know, the Janjaweed, the Caliphate, the Nigerian government itself. The energy we use to face them, you would transfer the energy to your people. You use it and fight your own brother, fight your sister. You channel your energy in winning argument and winning saga. Winning argument, you want to win and you want to win saga. Meanwhile, there is a war ahead of us. You lose sight of the bigger issue, the war we all claim to care about. So I want to say this directly. Biafrans, we must respect one another. My fellow Biafrans, wherever you are watching from, I don't care where you belong or which group you belong or who you are supporting or who you are not supporting. Biafrans, we must respect one another. You do not have to agree with everybody. There is no law that said you must agree with everybody. You do not have to agree with everybody. But to respect one another. We must respect one another. That is the point. If somebody supports Simon Ekpa, you do not have to insult that person. Anybody, I think in the Bible, there was a place he said that he that is not, who is not against us is with us. That's a quotation like that in the Bible for those of you that are Christian and knows Bible. I think it was the apostles of Christ that went somewhere, something was happening, or they saw people who were casting demon, and when they came and reported to Christ, and they told him that they saw people who were casting demon in the name of Jesus, who are there. He said, "He who is not, if they are not against us, they are for us. He who is not against us is for us." So anybody that supports Simon Ekpa Njoku, you do not have to insult that person. You don't have to insult, even if you don't agree with the person. You are not bound to agree with everything with the person. But anybody that supports Mazin Simon Ekpa Njoku, anybody that supports Mazin Nan, you don't have to insult that person. He is not against us, he's with us. If somebody supports another Biafran political position,